Hey, what's going on everyone? It's Jeff at Lockdown Security bringing you another video on this 2018 Honda Civic Type R. This time I'm bringing you a video of the CompuStar remote starter that we installed in this vehicle and some of the quirks and features of it and how it works on this push-to-start Honda Civic. So I'm just going to hop in the vehicle here. I'm just nursing a sore back today, so it's kind of hard for me to close the door. So this vehicle is 6-speed manual, push to start, and we have installed a CompuStar remote start. We have also added these two small one-button key fobs. These are the new CompuStar 2WR SS one button. And essentially, the reason why we've added these key fobs is for this reason here. I'm just going to start the car up. I'm going to basically put it in neutral. And I'm going to activate the e-brake. So emergency brake is on. Now, normally in a CompuStar remote starter on a manual transmission vehicle, when you put the car in neutral, you activate the e-brake. That would be your way of activating the safety sequence called Reservation Mode. The problem with a push-to-start vehicle when you do that is sometimes when you put the car in neutral and you put the e-brake on, you're not actually leaving the vehicle. What you may be doing, you may be going to your community mailbox, you may be going into the corner store, you may be doing something where you want to leave the car idling, but you don't want to put the car in reservation mode. The reason why reservation mode being activated inadvertently is an issue is that as soon as, if it was in reservation mode right now, as soon as I leave the vehicle, i.e. I open the door and I get out and I close the door, what happens is the car will basically continue to idle when I exit. As soon as the door closes, the car shuts down and it locks, thereby essentially locking the keys in the car. Now, a lot of you may say, well, the car was not able to lock the keys in the car. The car prevents that. Well, that's not the case in reservation mode because at that point, it's not the car locking the doors, it's the CompuStar locking the doors. That it would override the Honda safety sequence to prevent you from being able to lock the OEM key fob in. So, what do we do to get around that? Well, what we do is we activate a mode called active reservation mode. Excuse me. What that is this. Essentially, you witnessed me put it in neutral, pull the e-brake up. You can see on the indicator, the e-brake is on. Now, if I want to put it in reservation mode, what I have to do is I actually have to actively push this key fob button here. So now the car is in reservation mode. What I'm going to do is I'm going to roll the window down. I'm going to pretend to get out of the vehicle. I'm going to hold the key outside the vehicle. And now the car has shut down. So now, I mean, I'm doing something wrong here. I'm sitting in the vehicle for the sake of this video, but essentially what you saw is reservation mode activate. It saw the key fob leave the vehicle, and now I'm able to successfully remote start it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the key on top of the vehicle. I'm going to push this button, press and hold it to remote start. Car is going to remote start. I'm going to move this fancy little alligator toy and essentially show you some of the other quirks of this remote start. Now, for those of you who own a Honda Civic Type R or a Honda Civic manual, anything newer than 16, 17, or 18, you will see that you get these error messages on the dash. So we got brake hold system problem, we got keyless problem, we got hill start assist problem. These are all error messages that come up under remote start only. If I were to get into this vehicle and restart it with the Honda key fob, these error messages go away. So they only come up under remote start. Are they a pain in the butt to see? Yes. Do they mean anything? No. Do they log any permanent codes? No, they do not. So there is no reason to be worried about having these errors coming up on the dash. This is just a simple fact of life when you add a remote starter to this particular vehicle. I want to also mention that what we did on this vehicle is we adapted a 410 Thar 1 Hon 6 T-harness with the CompuStar 7200 controller, and we made this manual transmission vehicle a full plug-and-play remote start install. Why did we do that? We did that because the car is brand new. It's a premier vehicle. The customer didn't want a lot of wiring tapped into, so we made sure that we didn't tap into a lot of wiring. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to essentially show you another quirk of this system, and that is when you unlock the door, I can unlock it with this key fob. Basically, as soon as it hits unlock, it shuts down. Why does it do that? That's a quirk of the way that the CompuStar Blade AL bypass gets around the immobilizer system. So what that means is that as soon as you unlock the door, the car shuts down. It is now out of reservation mode. You would have to go through that safety sequence that I showed earlier in the video to put it into the mode. I'm just going to grab the Honda key fob from the roof. And I'm just going to show you one other thing, and that is that the error message, or error messages, have all gone away. No check engine lights, no messages, everything's fine. It's just telling me to fasten my seatbelt, but everything is good to go. I want to also mention that you can do 3-lock start with this system if you want. You don't have to carry around the key fobs for that active reservation mode. The customer could actually leave these in the car if you wanted to. We were actually thinking about sticking it to the dash somewhere that's easily accessible for him, because all he needs to do with this key fob is literally push the button upon leaving to put it into reservation mode. So I know this video can be a little bit confusing, but for those of you who have a Honda Civic manual transmission that's a 17 or 18, or if you have a Honda Civic Type R and you want to put a remote start in it, it is doable. We've done it. It works great. You just have to be aware of these quirks with the system. I also want to point out that it is fully safe in a manual transmission. You have no worry about the car moving or jumping forward when you remote start it. There's multiple different safety features. One of them is obviously the reservation mode to make sure it's in neutral. The other one is a sensor called the FTDAS, which is a digital forward-backward motion sensor. If it sensed any motion whatsoever upon remote start, it cuts power to the starter motor, thereby effectively stopping the car from jumping forward. So, that concludes this video. If you or somebody you know is interested in adding a remote start to your Honda Civic Type R or your Honda Civic or any vehicle for that matter, call us up 647-439-4485 or 1-866-824-4118. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you could, subscribe to our YouTube channel. It goes a long way to help us make more videos like this in the future. Thank you very much and have a great day.